As you may have seen in the press recently, on the night before Christmas Eve 1998, Belgrave Hall Museum picked up something rather strange on its closed-circuit television system. Exactly what was it? That's what we're here to find out.
On the 23rd December last year, we had something that came up on a video security camera, which has totally remained a mystery and is unexplained.
So I was just standing in the entrance hall when I saw this figure coming down the stairs, and it was evident that it was a woman.
I had a feeling of an old lady that would have been perhaps pushed round the gardens to enjoy the gardens, and left a very, very marked impression.
We asked Stuart Warburton, the curator at the museum, to try and explain the footage.
The image that appears are what look like two figures, and they're there for a split second, anywhere from a second to 5 seconds. They disappear. They don't walk into shot, they don't fly into shot, and they're not blown into shot. They just appear and disappear. And then there's again an unexplained mist that rolls across the wall in the background of the shot and hangs around the area where the figures were seen.
Is this the first time anything has happened?
The security system has only been active for about 4 to 6 weeks when we captured the image, so it's a new system. We are constantly looking at it now to see if we've caught anything else.
Why does he think it happened on this occasion?
Now, the security cameras are recording all the time, but they can only pick images up when the lights go on, and the lights stay on for only a minute.
Bill was the first museum assistant to witness the extraordinary sight.
I was watching the tape for overnight intrusions into the garden, and when the light came on, I didn't think anything. We obviously saw an animal in the picture. And when these two images came on, I was totally baffled. I haven't seen anything like it. We've seen foxes, we've seen dogs and cats. They didn't move. I was totally baffled, and then 5 seconds later they disappeared.
Belgrave Hall is a very old building. Is there perhaps a story here that could tie in with what has been caught on the camera? The gardener has witnessed a woman in the house.
It could have been one of the sisters, it could have been a housekeeper.
I mean, out of the sisters, the 3 sisters that remained in the house, who were spinsters, Charlotte and Isabel were 2 prominent sisters.
I could see her black boots and the bottom of her skirt, and she came down the stairs and looked out the window at the garden. She seemed to turn and smile and then walk past me to the kitchen.
We brought in Barry Halford, a local medium, to try and elaborate on the details for us. Where did he find the primary amount of activity?
Facing the rear and the rear rooms, all right, the one above this one, and part of the landing there seems to be a hive of activity of some kind.
Barry did mention that he picked up some very strong energy in a certain area around the gardens, but unfortunately that isn't where the video footage was shot. So let's go back there now and find out more about some of the other alternative explanations as to what could be going on.
There's been a number of theories given to what the image could be. Anything ranging from lightning to plastic bags to people in fluorescent jackets to torches. We've experimented with plastic bags, and we can now put a line through that one. We've contacted the Met Office to see what the weather conditions were for the night, and we know there was no lightning that evening in Leicester. In fact, the evening was quite a warm evening comparatively for December, which rules out the mist as well. We've tried with torches, and again, we don't have the intensity of light that could give that image.
There is also the strange ball of mist to take into consideration, which again there is no explanation for.
Why we're getting the mist that stands still for a particular moment when we know there was a 5-mile-an-hour wind speed that night? Why isn't the mist disseminated in the wind speed?
In many similar incidences to this, the outcome has often resulted in a hoax. What about this time?
We have checked with the security company and the manufacturers of these equipments, and we have asked those questions. One, can there be a fault with the equipment? And secondly, can it be hoaxed? And yes, it can be hoaxed. but it's an extremely complicated system. And if you're going to do it, you're going to rob a bank, not put a ghost on at Belgrave Hall. The next thing is the equipment is not at fault. We've had that checked over. So we've now got to start looking at the tape itself. And there's two elements to that research. First of all is the image that's on the tape and the tape, the fabric of the tape. We've called in a number of experts to date to look at the image on the tape, and so far we've drawn a blank. It is a mystery, it is an anomaly.
What stage can they go to now for final confirmation?
We've also identified somebody in London who can take the tape away and to check the tape over, both for if there's a fault with the tape and a fault on what the image might be. And that is something that we'll be progressing with over the next few weeks.